Good day, gamers. Purple Mentat here, bringing you episode 2 of my Regrowth Let's Play. Information on this mod pack available in the description down below. So last time I managed to get myself to a nice safe little area, get some initial quests complete. This time I want to make some improvements. In between episodes I got things organized. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 4x4 farm plots set out. And I think the very first thing that I want to do is increase my defensive options. And to do so, I'm going to need my sugarcane seeds. Yep, I have them right there. And I'm going to need an awful lot more crops. So we're just going to go ahead and make 4 more stacks of those. And the reason for that is I want to get these sugarcane seeds planted. And I want to fill this entire 4x4 area with cross crop sticks. Now, this normally would be a terrible idea. In most places that you're going to encounter AgriCraft, you have to worry about weeds. Weeds will grow on any unattended empty crops. However, that is turned off for regrowth because the technological solution to weeds does not exist, and regrowth relies so heavily on the mod. As such, I can leave an entire section like this up and running, and the sugarcane will slowly spread to each of those, branching off and breeding and creating an entire field of 16 sugarcane plants for me. It will also have some other beneficial effects, but we'll deal with those later. I believe that it would also be a very good idea for me to do the very same thing with my seeds, carrots, potatoes, and oh, I have another sugarcane seed here. Awesome, that'll speed things up a bit. We'll stick that over here next to the starter one. There we go. I want to get a number of these basic plants going so that I will be able to do a bunch of crossbreeding. But actually, I'm going to save my potato and carrot seeds for the time being. And we will only be setting up another wheat field. And the reason for that, well, you'll see briefly. I want to get myself working towards cotton, because cotton will allow me to create wool, which will allow me to create a bed. And one of the first things I need to do to make cotton, 4, 5, that'll do, is I need to breed together my carrots and my potatoes. I have a little reference sheet that I've made myself here. So we're going to make that a double and that a double. And we're going to put our carrots on one and our potatoes on the other of the singles. And we're just going to let those grow. We're going to give them time. We're going to give all of this time to grow relatively naturally. Here, you come here. You are no longer possible of budding off, so I can start harvesting you, which is good because I've already gone through 8 of my bread supply, and I'm only going to be consuming more over time. But luckily, it's very simple for me to turn this wheat into, where is it? Wheat flour, which can then be cooked into bread in the furnace. So food really not an issue. I expected it to be more of an issue in this pack, and I'm pleasantly surprised that they're not trying to starve you here. You have bigger problems than starvation. So in the quest book, the very next thing that I want to be working on in what the world came to be, you can see there's barely anything else available yet, is feeling seedy. I want to get a seed analyzer put together because that's going to be very important for moving forward. So I'm going to grab some cobblestone, and what else do I need for the seed analyzer? I think I'm just about done. Oh, I need glass, and I need some planks. Well, those are a bit of a challenge, but not insurmountable. If I grab, oh, we'll go with 6. That should do it. And I'm going to need glass, which means I need some sand. I've got 2 options for sand. I can go explore and find red sand, or I can make it myself. Well, I found a fairly fast way of making it myself. Okay, I do have 8 more cracked sand. Good. If I open my crafting inventory, I can press 4 to move whatever item is on hotbar 4 to wherever my mouse is. I can also point at something and press 4 to put it on hotbar 4. So if I push 4, 5, and then I just shift click that sand, we want the sand here, and then I just need to point at the cracked sand and hit 5. And if I get a little bit of practice going with that, it actually goes relatively quickly. So I'm pretty happy to have figured that one out. It's a use for inventory tweaks that I've never used before. And I'm not actually certain it's inventory tweaks or if this is vanilla functionality. But either way, it's pretty neat, I think. There we are. Now we have enough sand to cook up a stack. Well, I mean, one furnace run, one charcoal's worth of glass, which will be more than enough to make that one glass pane that I need. It helps if you don't accidentally throw your fuel on the ground, though. Just, you know, FYI. So, while that's processing, there's a lot of start processes and then work on something else, which I kind of like in this pack. It suits my kind of all-over-the-place take on things. Growing knowledge is going to require paper, and while I have a bit of sugarcane saved up, it is really only the 2, so that's going to have to wait. Oh, actually 3. Excellent, I can finish that. Let me grab my floral fertilizer, and I'm going to need 4 wood ash. Well, I already have more than that. Actually, let's just, let's grab 8 wood ash, 2 mandrake, 4 mandrake. There we go. And you'll see what that's being used for in just a moment. Okay, so growing knowledge. From your previous episodes of Lucidity, you're probably being able to make a book that told you about the strange flowers that the floral fertilizer causes to spontaneously grow. I need to make the Lexica Botania, and that'll get me 16 more for floral fertilizer. The Lexica Botania is very simply made with some paper and any one of the mystical flowers. So, 3 paper and we'll use the cyan flowers. I don't know of anything that I need to use that for right at the moment. Put those 2 together, and I have the Lexica Botania. As you can see, your guide to all botanical needs from the best-selling author Lisbeth Vazkii Rika? I'm not certain. In any case, contains 1 school of knowledge, Minecraftian knowledge. Yeah, that'll increase as time goes on. That doesn't get old. So, spider. Yeah, we're gonna, the whole sugarcane field is definitely partially intended to deal with the spider problem. We will be getting to that ASAP. So the Lexica Botania has all of the basic and actually all of the information on every block, flower, and mechanic that you can find in Botania, and is one of the better done books I've ever found in these games. It's very nice and actually contains both crafting recipes as well as, if I find something like the Pure Daisy here, in-world animations of what happens. Well, pictures at least. Anyway, it's good stuff, and you can make bookmarks. It's fantastic. Pretty happy about that. So, what's next on the list? Well, we can't get down the... Oh, how about I claim the reward? We can't get down here until we complete this quest, and to complete this quest we need to finish Mutation. You recall a mixture of bone meal and mandrake that could transform plants into other plants. Perhaps this could be applied to the grass you've managed to cultivate with bone meal. So, I am actually going to need to make one of these little plots of land into a area for grass. I wasn't considering that. I used up all of my dirt in other places. You know what? I think I might just expand this into a 5x5 lawn. Yeah, that'll work. And we can actually dig it all the way to the edge, basically. Now, a quick look with F7 will show me what spawnable terrain is there, and we can just put it there. Okay, we're good. Now, this clearly is not a lawn yet. To make it a lawn, we're going to need to use some pasture seeds, which we gathered from the dead grass in the first episode. If I use this pasture seed on bare dirt, yeah, you very quickly get grass. And it spreads rapidly and far. Pretty happy about that. So now I have the grass that I'm going to need to create the long grass. well, the grass blocks that I can grow long grass on top of. Let's make that seed analyzer. 6 deadwood becomes 12 oak wood slabs. And then I'm going to use all but 2 of those to make 5 oak wood planks. Tricky. Now we can make ourselves some cobblestone slabs and some glass panes by using the 6 glass. And there we have it. We can now create the seed analyzer. Should have everything we need in our inventory. Quick shift click, and we could make 2 of them. But we only need 1, really. And let's go over what the seed analyzer can do for us just as soon as I remove some of this excess inventory. I think I want to keep this guy where I can get at him easily. Near the farms. There we go. That'll do. It's not perfect. Maybe someday I will actually get around to making this place look prettier than I did Clouds of Darkness base. I certainly hope so. That was a mess. That was. Gunpowder. Gunpowder goes in the mob drop chest, which is here. I'm attempting to maintain some semblance of order. Let's see how well that works out for us in the long term. Wow, things do not grow quickly. Definitely expected to use your initial bone meal to speed things up, but I don't want to do so too much. Okay, you can see that these guys are already branched out 1 space. Excellent. All right, so let's look at what the seed analyzer can do after we collect our reward, which is a agricultural journal. And if I open up the agricultural journal, you'll see that there's some very tiny text that tells you this is a place where you can keep track of all of the seeds that you have discovered. To keep track of them, you're going to need to put your journal into the seed analyzer, and you're going to need to analyze some seeds. For example, I tossed these seeds in there, and I learned that they are growth 1, gain 1, and strength 1. The only important numbers in this pack are growth and gain. Growth affects how quickly it grows to mature, and gain affects how much you get out of it. Strength is only useful when weeds are enabled, and it is your percentage resistance to becoming a weed. So if you have a strength 10 seed, it can never become a weed. It's amazing. So how do we increase our strength? Well, that is why we are spreading these guys. If I go take a look at this one and this one, it's at least somewhat likely that these 2 unidentified seeds have some sort of improved stat. So we will run them through the analyzer and we shall see. Nope, not that one. This one has gain 2 and strength 2, which means we will get more sugarcane from that one growing than we will from this guy. Now, the benefit here is if we let this sugarcane spread across the entire area, by the time it gets to the end, it will have propagated through a number of potential mutations and should have gained a fair bit of stats. Then we can wipe everything out, select the best seed among them, and start all over. Pretty neat, huh? So if I now grab out my agricultural journal, I can take a look inside of it, and I can see that I have sugarcane seeds, the different growth stages of it. I don't know any mutations of it yet, but I will learn. Now, one other thing that I'm going to need, I'm actually going to need to grab, let's take the initial sugarcane. Sure, why not? And, no, I can't do that. I need this bit of sand. So we're going to set up this sand right here so I can put down this sugarcane on it. And I'm going to need to till these earths. So, actually, no. There and there. Put some wheat seeds here, and we're going to crossbreed there and there. If I look up the sugarcane seeds, and I mouse over them and I hit U, I can see that I can easily make cactus, poppy, dandelion, nature seeds between sugarcane and essence seeds. That's an important one. What I'm after right now is barley between seeds and sugarcane. Why do I want barley? Well, if I combine barley with dandelion, that's how I get my cotton. Also, if I combine barley with sugarcane, I get sweet corn. That's neat, which could then get me cucumber or chili seeds. As you can see, you can have a lot of fun tracking down all of the various crops, and I think I might make it a private goal of mine I don't know if it's actually in the quest list or not, to acquire all of the crops by the end of this. Okay, that's enough playing around with those for the moment. It's time to move on to making some mutagen. Let's look up Mutandis. We can create Mutandis with... Oh, I need floral green powder, green dye, or cactus green. I forgot about that bit. So, unfortunately, that does mean we're going to be using the floral green, unless I want to spend some time. Cactus green. Let's look at you. You can be made from dye, can be made from eel grass, which is found underwater, can be smelted from green paste, natura stuff. There must be a way to make cactus... Oh, we can create cactus seeds by combining sugarcane and poppy. Poppy is sugarcane and pumpkin. So I've got two options here. I can simply use the green flowers that I am finding, which would be the fast option. I think I'll do that for now. Later on, though, I'm definitely going to have to breed myself some cactuses. Cacti, so I don't have to worry about spending my green flowers, my mystical green flowers doing this. Alright, to be able to use the mystical green flowers, we're going to need a mortar and pestle. Luckily, I already have the oak wood planks that I need. Let's make one of those. So your mortar and pestle is created with planks, a bowl, and a stick. So I'm actually going to need to turn these into slabs and use 3 of them to make the bowls. And then I can turn the 4 left over back into planks. And then I add a stick to the plank and bowl to get my pestle and mortar. When you craft a mystical flower in the crafting table, you will get mystical petals. And if you grind up the mystical petals in the pestle and mortar by using them in the crafting table, you get the floral green powder. Then the floral green powder plus bone meal plus mandrake plus wood ash gets you Mutandis, 3 at a time. So I created 6 Mutandis in that way. Let's take a look at our quest book. Quest complete. We have our choice. We will gain 8 Mutandis guaranteed, and we can pick 16 bone meal, 16 floral fertilizer, or 16 Mutandis. Now this is actually a tough choice for me, because I already, well, you know what? I have 6 and I'm getting 8 more. I think I'll be okay on Mutandis because the next step is pretty much, well, let's check the next step. The next step is use sap. Mutandis can turn stuff into saplings. Now you can have some wood that's actually alive. All right, so I need to create 4 saplings, detects any sapling. Okay. All right, so it sounds like the most useful thing out of all of these that I could take is going to be the bone meal, honestly. Because I now have over a stack of the bone meal, and that is pretty nice. Okay, so let's go make ourselves some trees. We're going to bone meal some grass, and then we're going to use our Mutandis on it. Lily pad, I don't care about you. Dark oak sapling, I care about you. Jungle sapling, that's a win. Yep. Doing well so far. Ooh, mushroom. Why not? Rowan sapling, that is a real win. Getting the rare witchery plants is super awesome. There's some oak, excellent. Spruce, we're doing well. Alder. Poppies, more dandelions. Hawthorn, we've got 3 of the witchery trees. More rowan. A birch sapling, we'll take it. Alright, that was a fairly lucrative endeavor, eh? Pretty happy about that. Let us set up, actually, the spruce and the birch, I think, to grow and get me more. So, 1, 2, 3. We'll just set it up there, and then we'll make sure there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives it 2 spaces. Here. Should do. Check my quest book. Fantastic. USAP quest complete. I can take a jungle, birch, spruce, or oak sapling. I think I'm going to take the jungle. That gives us 3 jungle saplings and leaves us only 1 more away from something really awesome. That being, we will be able to grow the tall jungle trees, which require 4 jungle saplings to start. And using those, well, we'll be able to get a ton of wood very, very easily. Let's grab 16 dead wood, put away our planks, and I guess the extra dirt for now. I'm going to make a tree chest over there by where I keep the trees. Looking forward to being able to automate these someday, but not in a particular rush to do so. So all of my trees are going to live in here, including the witchery trees. And I already have a home back over here for random Minecraft plants like carrots and poppies, dandelions, mushrooms, that sort of thing. Alright, doing well. Happy, happy. Excellent. Next on the list, flower power. This book enlightens you to ways in which you can use these mystical flowers to alter the world around you. Perhaps through this you may begin to restore the world to what it once was. Such efforts require you to start small. Perhaps first you'll need an apothecary to meld the magics of different mystical flowers together. Specifically, I am going to need to create the flower apothecary, or the petal apothecary, one of those, petal apothecary, which is going to require some cobblestone slabs, and my choice of petal. 2 slabs and 4 cobblestone, plus my choice of petal. Things are all scattered now. You're gonna find me digging into a bunch of chests. We'll use a pink petal because it's pretty. I like this idea. Put one of them away, and I'm gonna put away one of the mystic flowers. You'll see why in a bit. So let us create our first petal apothecary. Potentially the last. I don't know if I'm gonna end up needing multiple of these. I doubt it though. And we'll set that up right there. To use the petal apothecary, you need to put water in it, which eventually you can automate through Botania itself. And the next step, purity define. You find that to start practicing the botanical magics, you'll need to make a pure daisy. Pure daisy is a pretty simple recipe. You can look it up in NEI or through your Lexica Botania, and it requires 4 mystical white petals and a petal apothecary. What this doesn't tell you, though, is that to extract the actual flower from the petal apothecary, after you make the 4 mystical white petals and toss them in there with the Q button, you will need to throw a seed in there of some variety. I am going to use wheat seed, assuming I have any. Well, that might be an issue. That's okay, that's why we're making all of this extra wheat here, right? So let's put another crossbreed crop down there. And let's toss this wheat seed into the petal apothecary. Boom, we have a pure daisy. Fantastic. Now the pure daisy is important for a couple of things. 1, it creates living rock, and 2, it creates living wood, which is good because It's Alive is the next quest. The pure daisy imbues rock and wood around it with mana, the lifeblood of the natural world, transforming them into a higher state of life than they had before. We need 16 of each, so I'm going to grab half of my smooth stone that I received from a quest, and we're going to spend some time with some bone meal and our tree farm over here. Of course, this is the first log that I have. Entertainment is mine. Fantastic. So we're going to set down our living daisy just 1 away from the wall. Or no, we can't do so there. We need to do so on grass. And if I put this stone down around it, you can already see that it's begun having fun little happy particle effects. That's because it is transforming slowly into living wood. Oh, there's more birch. Good. We're going to give that just a moment, and while we wait for it, we can come over here and bone meal our spruce sapling. This is why I was so happy to save the bone meal that I did. And we're going to cut this down. Doesn't matter what kind of wood you use with the living daisy, it all turns into living wood. I mean, the pure daisy. Does take, I believe, half a minute to a minute for the process to complete. But I want you to see what it looks like here in just a moment. I am very much missing random things at the moment. I wish I had the instant tree leaf decay that comes along with that mod. That was probably one of my favorite things about any mod pack is the instant leaf decay. I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but I got into modding specifically because I hate farming trees quite so much, and forestry was the very first mod that I ever invested in. I took one look at Tree Capitator and decided, nah, I should have to work for that ability. There you go. Isn't that cute? Gets replaced with the living rock, and then you can gather it with your pickaxe. So there we are. Partway there. Alright, once I have the living rock and the living stone that I need to complete this quest, I shall return. Alright, we've got the last bit of living rock, living wood over there processing. I have 8 of that and 16 of the rock in my inventory, and I noticed as I was doing some maintenance on the farms that we have a newcomer. Pumpkin seeds. Fantastic. Now, I'm going to need to use those pumpkin seeds over here. This is going to be my new crossbreeding laboratory. So, fortunately, it's not easy to have everything perfect, you know? That's okay. We can make this work. Because we're going to steal all of that, put that in the corner, just like we have over here. And we can put crops here and here. Oh, nope. Helps if you till the soil. Someday I will remember that. Pumpkin seeds on one, and sugarcane on another. There we are. And I have a field that is going to become some super potatoes for me. And I'm going to set up another one over here that can turn into some awesome carrots. Boop, boop, boop. And maybe this is overkill, maybe I don't actually need to be doing this with everything, but honestly, it doesn't take a lot of resources, and it's kind of fun, you know? I'm having fun with it, I'm enjoying myself. I don't think I get anything special out of these carrots or potato seeds. Probably not. No, they're all growth 1. Okay. So, in that case, we're going to tuck you in the corner here. We already have you tucked in the corner, so we can ignore you for a while. And most of the rest of what I'm going to be doing, at least what I'm going to be doing for the near future, is going to be over here as far as mutations go. So now that I am past the point of growing a bunch of trees for this quest line, I am going to spend a little bit of my bone meal speeding up my process of getting towards a bed. Seems like a good plan. So that will get these guys crossbreeding a lot faster. And I can collect the rest of my living wood now. Go Gadget Pure Daisy. Thank you for doing your job oh so well. And that should complete the quest for me. In what the world came to be, we have flower power. It's alive! Yes. We get 16 floral fertilizer and 3 pure daisy. Now, I've got my choice of 16 more floral fertilizer, 64 living rock, or 64 living wood. Well, the floral fertilizer is honestly the hardest to come by because it requires me to use ground up petals and bone meal in its creation. The living rock and the living wood I have an almost, well, I have an easily infinite source of both. It just takes time. And honestly, I'm willing to put some time into this pack. Alright, what's next on our agenda? You'll just have to wait for next time to find out, as we are running out of time. Thanks very much for joining me, folks. Hope you have enjoyed this episode. Next time, I will continue... Oop, there's barley. Awesome. Continue my quest for cotton and working my way through the Botania questline. We will likely be making some day blooms and what looks like the... I think it's the Horn of Nature? Also, we've unlocked a number of quests in other categories. We'll at least take a look at those and decide what to do next. If you've enjoyed the episode, please leave a thumbs up and tell me what I did right. If you have not, please leave a thumbs down and tell me what I can do better. And I'll see you next time.